Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Nicole and I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark. So I kind of wanted to do a video today to discuss 3 essential things that I do every single day on Poshmark to make more consistent sales. I know we're always trying to figure out ways to boost our sales, to actually have consistent sales coming through, and everyone always wonders how do we get consistent sales? How do you keep the sales coming even when there's a slower period, or even when you think you're in a slump? How do you make them consistent? So for me, these are the 3 things that I do every single day at some point throughout the day whenever I have time, and they just make the sales come in more. And I feel like once you're on the correct side of the algorithm, which is a whole another video that I could make on how to get on the right side of the algorithm, let me know down below if that would be something that would be interesting to you. But if you do these 3 things, you will be on the right side of the algorithm and the sales will come in more and more, because once you make one sale, the other sales just continue to come in. So keep on watching and you'll find out what the 3 things are that I do every single day. Alright, so the first thing I do every single day is list new items. This is very key because you want to have new inventory coming in. You want to have new items for people to be able to look at, to see, to be able to shop from. They want new, fresh items. And it also helps because it boosts those new listings into the feed, and then it gets people to see things. And your old items become stale after a certain point, so when you have new items coming in, they're constantly being put into the feed. And this is why I also share during parties, because then it goes to those feeds, and those are more specific on the certain categories or the certain kind of items. So listing new items every single day is very important. And I try to get at least 1 listed a day, but sometimes I try to do more if I have time. And it also depends on the amount of inventory that I have available to list. Sometimes I have a lot and other times I don't. So it really just depends, but I try to get at least 1 listed a day. And sometimes I'll do my listings in bulk on Sundays to make it easier, so then all I have to do is hit list on each day of the week. That really saves me a lot of time during the week to do that, but if you have more time and you have more inventory, then get listing every single day. And you want to get into this habit, because once you don't do that, and once you take a day off, or once you don't list for a couple days, you get put back on the wrong side of the algorithm, which is what we were talking about before. So you want to make sure that you list every day to keep your closet being put into the feed so people see it, and so your listings get recommended more. The next thing I do every single day is relist items. So sometimes I'll do an entire closet relist, which takes a lot of time, and I don't recommend it if you don't have a lot of time. But I do if all your listings are pretty stale, or if they're getting old, just relist them all. It takes a long time to do, but you'll see instant sales. I've done this several times now, and the sales become instant. I get 1 or 2 right away. And so what I normally do is I kind of pick a couple listings that have been older and I relist those. Or if I'm sharing to a party specifically, I'll relist items for that party, so then it's a fresh new item in that feed. So for example, if there's a categories of best in shirts, I'll take any shirts that I have that have been sitting a while and I'll relist those. Now the key with relisting is you need to make sure it's after that 60-day period, that you can't relist an item before that 60-day period, or if you use a copy listing item, it's not going to work and put it in the new feed if it's not before those, or not after those 60 days. So you want to make sure you're keeping track of the timing of it all. But what you could do is you could just completely make the listing over again, copy the photos, copy the description, and then just make a whole new listing out of it if it's not after those 60 days. But I recommend using the copy listing feature because it kind of writes everything out for you and you don't have to redo everything. So I recommend doing this at least once a day too. Just get a couple items relisted each day. Do 5 items and then do 5 items the next day, however much you have time for. But you want to keep doing this because, again, it's going to bring new people in because you're making new listings even though they're old listings. And stale listings are not worth keeping around. Even if you have a lot of likes on the item, don't keep it around, because those people that are liking the item are not necessarily buying the item. So just because you have 50 likes on it doesn't mean that those people are going to buy it. You might have sent out offers a lot and they might not have actually purchased. So I recommend just completely making the listing over again, and you'd be surprised how quickly the item will actually sell. And maybe even when you remake the listing, maybe change up the title a little bit, or change up the cover photo, or do something to make it look a little bit different, and maybe it'll catch somebody's attention more. So relist every single day, 1 to 5 items if you have time. If you have more time, then do more. But whatever you have time for, just get a couple relisted each day. And the final thing I do every single day is share my closet. I share as much as I can, because the more you get your items out there in the feed, the better you are. So if you share them to your followers, then all your followers are going to see them. If you share them to parties, anyone in those parties are going to see them. And then those people that are seeing them might also share them for you, which is going to get more eyes on your listings, because they're going to share it with their followers, or they're going to share it wherever they can. So keep sharing as often as you can. I know like that new share in bulk feature that Poshmark has is really nice, because you can kind of just check everything and then it'll share them automatically for you. I wish there was a way to just select all, because clicking each one individually is kind of a hassle, and especially if you have more items in your closet. But I recommend getting your listings shared a couple times a day. I try to do a full closet share maybe 10 to 15 times a day if I have time. Other times I'll try to do it a little bit less, but I'll try to focus on certain items that are like my key items. So I have those at the top of my closet, and I kind of share those more if I don't have time to do a full closet share. But the more you share your items, the better you will be. And sharing them to parties is also really helpful, because it's a more specific audience. So it's people that are looking for that specific item. And so it's less items being shared to that party, so you have more of a chance of your item getting sold. So share as much as you can. I know it's a tedious task, and I know none of us enjoy doing it. Some people have like a VA that will share for them. I don't. I do all my sharing on my own, and I have over 2 million self-shares, which is crazy, I know, but it helps. It really does help. So I recommend sharing as much as you can. Share when you're, doing little things here and there, when you're just watching a show at night, or when you have a few minutes to spare. Share. It's going to help, and it really helps bring in consistent sales. All right, so those are the 3 things that I do every single day to bring in consistent sales. So let's recap. So listing new items, relisting old items, and sharing your closet. All very important things, and sometimes they can get overlooked, and sometimes we could forget that like those are just so basic and they're so easy to do. But like if you don't do them, or if you're missing one of the pieces to the recipe, so if you're not listing or you're not relisting, it really makes a big difference. And so I try to do all these every day, like I said, and I notice a big difference when I'm very on top of these things, and when I do list every day, when I do relist every day, and when I do share every day, it really makes a big difference. I see lots of sales coming in a week, and then when I find myself on a little off week and I don't do one of those things, that I could see a major difference in the sales. And then it's just so hard to get back to that point where you have more consistent sales coming in. So it's easier to just do this every single day as much as you can. And I know there are days where we need to take off, or we need to do less and be a little less active on the app. And that's why listing in advance, bulk listing, like making the drafts in advance, is so helpful, because then all you have to do is hit list the day of. So if you don't have time to go and photograph, you don't have time to make the description, you don't have time to do any of that, all you have to do is just click the list button the day of. And so if you could take one thing away from this video that's not one of these 3 things, it's just to maybe get some drafts going each week. Pick a day throughout the week. I do it on Sundays, that's just easier for me. Pick a day and get your drafts going, and then it'll be really easy to, list during the week to save you some time. And same thing with relisting. You can kind of make the drafts ahead of time for that. You could just copy the listing and then save it as a draft. So really the only thing you have to do on a day-to-day basis is hit list for the reshare, or for the relistings, and then all you have to do is kind of share your items as much as you can. If you follow these 3 things every single day, you'd be surprised on how many more sales you can come in that can come in from doing this. So let me know down below what things you kind of do, or like your daily rituals for bringing in more sales. I would love to know how you bring in more sales, and I think it'll be helpful to share with everybody else how you do it, because here's how I do it, and it really helps. So let me know down below. And also, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and like it, and I'll see you next time.